If you've never seen an AC unit out of the cabinet, this is basically what it looks like. If you've never seen an AC unit out of the cabinet, this is basically what it looks like. Here's a squirrel cage fan, some kind of a control box, all the components back here with the refrigerant, evaporator, condenser. It's a Dometic 16,000 BTU unit. I do plan on hooking up the condensation line into the shower pump, and we'll show all this when we install the unit into the settee, which is going to be right underneath here. So I'm going to clean this out now, get all the stuff we have in storage out of this settee, and then set the unit down in there to see what kind of space we're working with. Alright, that's where it sits, right inside here. It's going to take up a lot of our locker space, but that's a sacrifice we're willing to make for some comfort. So you see the ductwork right there, already installed. So I'm hoping that this job is going to be, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to jinx myself, but you know what I'm going to say. Already ran into our first issue. This unit sticks up slightly above where my cushions are. But I got a couple of ideas on how to fix that. I'm either going to go down here and recess where it sits, or I'm just going to put a spacer all the way around underneath these seats. It only needs to come up about an inch or so. So already it turned into a task. Son of a gun. Well, after opening up this access panel, a couple of things. Bad news, it's fiberglass. So we're not going down to make the room. Well, it's dirty down there too. Sawdust from when they built the boat. So we're not going to go down to give us clearance. So I'm going to have to go up. I'm going to have to put a spacer between here and here to raise this entire seat an inch or so, so the lids come down and close without hitting all of this, these components here, and this fan shroud or whatever this thing's called. So looks like I've got some measuring and some wood to cut and all that. The good news, check this out. This is set up for, I mean, the hose is already ran to go to the through hull to pick up water. And look at this, forward relay, forward AC. It's already wired. I don't have to run any wires. It's already here. That is the most awesome thing. That's going to make it a little easier, because I was a little bit worried about going up and tapping into the back of that thing, that panel right there. So one thing is easy so far, and one thing turned into a task. So we'll see where we go from here. There must be some hidden screws, because it's not wanting to lift up. I'm trying to remove as little as possible to not create unnecessary work, but this is going to be a task. I'm going to have to get a piece of plywood, cut it to this shape, right, is the same that we have here, and try to prop it up a little bit to get a little more height out of this lid. Alright, I got all the decking, the seat decking taken out. That's going to make it a lot easier to work on this unit. And I need to build a shim of about 3/4 of an inch higher to clear this right here. The deck lid comes down and just hits it. I want to give a little more clearance because of all this. I'd like to have, you know, 1/2 inch clearance at least in case somebody heavy sits on it. So that's where I'm at so far. All that work just because it was a little bit too tall. Otherwise I'd have been halfway done installing this thing by now. This boat is a mess. Luckily Maria's not here with Daisy. But I'm looking for a way to run a water line from this end of the AC unit for a seawater pickup, like through here and then across and then up through here and then into here. I'm planning on using that head intake for my seawater because my head is going to be coming out. We're putting in a composting head, so technically we're not supposed to run the intake up here. I'll go to the back of the boat and show you where it's supposed to be. There should be a through hole right here. Excuse the dirty bilge, I just haven't had a chance to clean it lately. But there should be a through hole right there for the AC units, and that was the only thing they didn't put in for the AC. Everything else besides the unit and the through hole. Look at this, they even put in the lines. This is the line for the front AC, this one right here, and then you have one underneath it right there that goes back for the back unit. They should have just went ahead and put the AC in. Jesus. Alright, I'm to the point where I'm about to put the electrical connections on. Here is the forward AC power, and here is the pump. I have to open up this box, and we'll start. And I'm going to put some terminal ends on the wires. I don't like just putting the wires underneath the screws. And then once that's all done, I'll take a picture of that. Alright, I got the electrical hooked up. I wasn't able to put the terminal ends on it because I didn't have any that would fit. So I'll have to go back and do that at a different time. But I'll put the cover on it. And once I get this all put back together, I will do a test and make sure everything is working. Here's what I come up with. The waste overboard is no longer being used, so that is now my intake for the AC. Runs underneath, comes out there, comes around into the sea strainer, on uphill. This is all uphill to the pump, which I hope works sitting sideways. I haven't tried it yet. If not, I'm gonna have to build a shelf, and then from there it goes underneath into the bottom of the AC unit, and then out of the top, back through the wall, and back through here, through this cabinet, and out overboard. That is what I'm using for the seawater intake for this AC system. Thermostat. It's a 6-pin connector. Runs underneath. You can see it going up right there, the gray line, underneath behind the wood, behind all this cabinetry, and comes out right there about midship, about mid-height, just where I want it. I'm just going to start hooking wires up, see what happens.
Wow, no idea all that. Do you understand those wires?
Most of them.
Everything's connected that needs to be connected.
That's a good question.
This is a really good challenge. Good learning opportunity, isn't it?
Well, it's set up for 2 shore power cords. I have 1.
Well, okay.
I have 2, but I don't have a splitter.
That's the problem.
But you're supposed to be able to slide this up and turn this on, and you see it comes on.
I see it comes on.
Which is supposed to, and then there's power there. But I don't know why there's no connection down to there.
She's alive! We've got air. 16,000 BTU. Pushing. Look at that.
I wonder where that's about.
Where did you do the through hole run? Right there?
Can you call it? Can you call it?
What do you think, Bobo? We've got air.
Yeah, I want something back there. You got a hole up here.
Thanks to Dave. He's the one that did the continuity check. What do you think? Skipper?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
Good,
Jury's still out.
in front of it. Yeah.
Oh, that is nice and cool.
Alright, my board is a little weird. See, these things slide up and down. Kind of blocks where you can, what you can turn on, what you can't turn on. So if I have shore power hooked up, I slide this down and flip this switch on. And boom, I have power to the B side of the breaker. So since I don't have 2 cords hooked up, I only have the A side hooked up with 1 cord. I can slide this up, and since this boat was equipped or wired to be equipped with a generator, it's set up to where you can connect the B side to the A side. So if you slide this up, you can flip this switch on, and boom, you have AC power on the B side. So then I can flip the air conditioning forward on. Don't need this one because I don't have an air conditioner in the back, and I don't need a relay because I only have 1 air conditioner. So at this point I can push this button and that will turn on the AC. It takes a second for it to cycle, and there it is. It is blowing air out of there and air out of there. I'm not real happy with the airflow out of this one, but you know, better than what I had. And then you go outside, and there I have good water flow out of the side of the boat. That's pretty strong. I'm trying to get the noise level with all the cushions and everything back on the settee, so it's a lot quieter with the cushions on it. Let me go in the room here and see what kind of noise level we have. It's a little bit of a mess in here. So that's the vent for the forward salon or forward berth. I plan on moving it over here because I don't like it up on top. So I'll move that. That'll probably be next year. But it's nice and quiet. Mission accomplished. Air conditioner installed.